press conference. The health condition of Sheikh El-zakzaky and his wife is deteriorating. Available information reaching us revealed that the health condition of Sheikh Ibrahim El-zakzaky and his wife Zina Ibrahim is seriously deteriorating in Kaduna prison custody. Our concern over the deteriorating health of Sheikh and his wife is growing, as a person of his critical condition is not supposed to remain in incarceration. How on earth will he continue to be in prison with bullets, shrapnels causing more harm to an already worsening situation? This is not implausible that there are some sinister motives behind the regime's insistence on keeping him in the highly congested jail in Kaduna. How else can the action of the regime be explained? Take, for instance, the aborted trip to India. From the beginning, after the travel permit was granted by a court, moves were made by the government to frustrate it. If not for Sheikh El-zakzaky's family members who dug in their heels to ensure that the trip actually took place. In agreement with the court order, and of course presidential approval, for the journey, the government was to only supervise. However, instead of doing what it was supposed to, the government wanted to seize control of the trip and started issuing commands and orders, ranging from an insistence that half a dozen security operatives, including a police doctor, accompany them, to restraining the number of family members who could join them, to obtaining the whole trip. This, among other things, amounted to a compromising of the Sheikh's and his wife's health and security. Therefore, as the Sheikh arrived in India on 13 August 2019, he was welcomed into a tight and hostile security dragnet, in addition to the deceitful reception at the airport and the hospital concourse, which culminated in a refusal to allow his personal physician access to him. Even the team of doctors that came to Nigeria for the investigation and review of his case were refused access to him in India. Instead, they were substituted with a very unusual set of unfamiliar doctors that acted in ways that caused the Sheikh and his wife to become suspicious. The situation being like that, no sane person will have allowed the strange element to examine him under such unwanted glooms, and the Sheikh demanded an audience with his trusted doctors before anything could be done. This reasonable request was turned down outright. He, together with his wife, was also denied even the most basic forms of privacy. The locks for their rooms and even their toilet were removed, and police officers routinely barged in to them at the most odd times. They were rather given two options: either to give in to the dubiousness of the strange doctors whom they did not trust, or be deported back to Nigeria. All of Sheikh El-zakzaky's appeals, particularly that of meeting his reliable doctors, fell on deaf ears. He was merely given 2.5 hours to get ready for the trip back to Nigeria. On return, before long, the Buhari regime defied all odds and transferred the seriously ailing couples to the unhealthy prison in Kaduna, where doctors lacked proper access and even facilities to handle their cases. The regime was keen on putting finishing touches to what it has started by whatever means possible, since it could not achieve it through the barrel of guns. It was deemed achievable with a connivance of conscientiousness. Surely elements, unruly elements, when it did not work out to their expectation, prison became the last resort. This contempt for his critical health condition is, of course, a cause for suspicion, as sinister motives perhaps lie in there. It is obvious that the Sheikh's critical health condition has not been given attention it so requests. Otherwise, it will not have got to this. If criminals and those who continue to loot and pillage the country dry receive special treatments, how will Sheikh El-zakzaky remain incarcerated despite the brutalities against him? 6 of his 9 children were murdered in cold blood. His residence set ablaze and demolished. Over 1,000 of his followers massacred. The Sheikh's health review reveals that the blood level concentration in his body is far greater than the level considered life-threatening. The presence of foreign bodies and metallic pellets within brain tissues may have caused an automatic dysreflexia, thereby interfering with the normal control of physiological activities like blood pressure, temperature, cardiac activities, etc., etc. The Sheikh is even at the risk of losing his sight completely. The Sheikh has also been suffering from a number of issues. These: obstructed blood flow to the heart, nerve root compression, severe visual impairment in his remaining right eye, and progressive open-angle glaucoma. Progressive macular atrophy and other issues that can inevitably lead to permanent blindness. Extremely high concentration of cadmium in his blood, among other things, is also causing a lot of damages. His wife, Zina, suffers from severe arthritis in her knee joint, which her doctors have said can only be treated with knee replacement surgery since at least 3 years ago. She also has loose fragments of bullet pieces in her abdominal area, which cause a large number of episodes of periodic life-threatening complications with her organs. The wheelchair-bound mother of 9 is hypertensive. Even one of the ailments suffered by either of them constitutes a very serious medical emergency, let alone a combination of all of them. It should be noted that the Sheikh has already suffered 2 strokes while in detention. Brothers and sisters, both Sheikh El-zakzaky and his wife need urgent and critical intervention to salvage their health. In view of the deteriorating health condition of Sheikh Ibrahim El-zakzaky and his wife, Malama Zina Ibrahim, we are demanding for unconditional release of the couples.